Hi guys, I'm Brandy, and this is going to be my very first video on YouTube. And I wanted to share something that not many people know about me, but when researching it, I didn't find a whole lot of information. So I really want to share my story and hopefully help someone figure out maybe what they want or can do. But I'm going to talk about my journey with severe plaque psoriasis. Now, I was diagnosed when I was 4 years old, and I was head to toe in severe plaque psoriasis. But before we get started, in case you don't know what it is, I am going to read you the definition. Now, it says from the Mayo Clinic website, psoriasis is a common skin condition that speeds up the life cycle of skin cells. It causes cells to build up rapidly on the surface of the skin. The extra skin cells from scales and red patches that are itchy and sometimes painful. It's a chronic disease that often comes and goes, and there is no cure. Now, again, I was diagnosed with psoriasis when I was 4 years old, and it kind of came out of nowhere. The doctors think that it might have been from a very bad untreated case of strep throat. It attacks your immune system, your whole body becomes inflamed. So I was 4 years old, I was head to toe in it, and doctors didn't know what was going on. So I actually had to go to the University of Wisconsin as a 4-year-old and get treatment done. They did research on me. They put me in this big lab and had people surrounding me doing testing. Because it was such a severe case in the child, they've never seen anything like it. Now, some of the treatment I have gotten as a young child was the UV treatments, which has different UV rays than like a tanning bed would have. And essentially it kind of burns off some of those skin cells. Now, oftentimes people might have psoriasis on their elbows, their kneecaps, but in the severe cases, it could be head to toe. So I got UV treatments. I remember when I was in high school, I had to leave high school, go to the hospital, get treatments during my study halls, and drive back to school. I do that a few times a week. I have gotten laser treatments done on my scalp and my ears, and it essentially burns off your skin. And it would bleed, it would hurt, it'd be very sore and red. But these are just some of the things that I have done because I was so embarrassed of my skin. No one truly understands. They thought it was a rash, it was contagious. It was hard for people to grasp that concept. And now I think it's a little bit more common to be talked about. I know celebrities like Kim Kardashian has it. I see it a little bit more in public. And what kind of inspired me to do this video is I have been trying other medications, but I have seen severe cases on Dr. Pimple Popper, which is my newest addiction. But I never really wanted to share this story with anyone because I was embarrassed, and the way people looked at me in school, it was like, oh, I don't want to go near you. I don't want to catch it, which it's not contagious, but it's really just your skin cells not shedding correctly. It's getting too thick in some areas. And then as well as the scalp, the ears, I mean, head to toe I was. So I got treatment for a long time. And then when I became older, I got busy, I went to college, I couldn't commit to that treatment. So throughout this span, of course, I had the topical steroid creams, which sometimes work, sometimes not. Some were a lot stronger than others. It would burn my skin, make me bleed, you know. It is very, very difficult to use when you are a child. And I remember my mom was one of my biggest supporters, and she would have to rub lotion all over in the spots that I couldn't get, all over my back, my neck, all over. because I would be so embarrassed. People just looked at me different, and I already had enough going on in high school, you know? And I didn't want another reason for someone to make fun of me. It's a harsh world out there. So I wanted to make this YouTube video to educate some people who might be curious about it, because there isn't a whole lot of videos out there that really share some of the information. So of course my UV treatments, I used to do 3 times a week, and I would do it kind of in the standing tanning bed. It would be very similar to that. And I would think I started out at 10 seconds. Now, these rays are extremely strong, and your body has to build up to it. Now, every time I would go, I believe they would increase it by 3 seconds, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it is over time. And it is very harsh on the body, very sore, makes your skin dry, but essentially it will help the psoriasis. Now, things I've also done on my own as an adult is do some tanning beds, which is as bad as they are for you. I am not advocating to do it at all, but I'm saying for my personal use, it has helped me, especially when I can't get out in the sun. I do suffer from a lot of allergies. It's hard for me to get outside. I work full time. You guys know how it is. So I have used tanning beds. But when they did the UV treatments and the laser on my scalp and my ears, that was about once a week, I want to say. It is a lot stronger than like the typical UV rays. Very much stronger. And it takes a toll on your body. It really does after time. And these are the things that we do to make ourselves feel better. No one wants to see spots all over them. No one wants flaking skin. Sometimes we get a lot of dandruff because it's, not shedding correctly. But for about 8 months, I was on Humira, if you have heard of that medication before. So I have an old Humira pen. Now, this is an injection. I'm going to show you guys up close. And this was a used one. I do have a sharps container, so no worries. No loose needles here. So I do have a sharps container, of course. Now, this Humira pen I was on for about 8 months. And this is actually a twice a month injection. Now, you might be thinking, oh, I don't like needles. And you do have to get used to that. However, the needles are, for this one specifically, I believe it's like citrate free, and it has like almost no pain at all. The nice thing is you could do it in like a fatty tissue. You could do it in your thigh, your stomach, and you pretty much just squeeze your leg and kind of stab yourself, kind of like an EpiPen. It's not as bad as it seems. I personally am a little bit nervous about needles, but if I can do it, I feel like you definitely can. And I did see a lot of improvement with my psoriasis. Now, at one time in my life, I was what we call in remission, where I had little to no spots, and it was the best time of my life. I was out in the sun. I was enjoying my life. I could wear whatever clothes I wanted, but sometimes that comes to an end. Now, things that trigger the psoriasis to kind of be inflamed or get worse is, being around smoke, of course, stress, which is a big factor, and of course, injury to the body. Now, I remember being in high school cheerleading. I was clumsy. I would hurt myself all the time, and that really did, you could see it in my body. My body was reacting. My immune system as well is kind of, I guess you would say, shot. It's not in great shape. It's, when I get sick, I stay sick for a while. If you know me, you know I'm always sick. But that's kind of part of the disease, unfortunately. Also, arthritis can occur, which I do have a little bit in my fingers time to time. But knock on wood, I don't have it anywhere else so far. And that's a really big factor with psoriasis, is that it can happen where you develop arthritis throughout your body. And that's something I'm definitely not looking forward to. Now, I was on this Humira for about 8 months and I did see improvement. I want to say when I had started, I was about 30% of my body covered in psoriasis, which might seem maybe a lot, I don't know. But it was sporadic, not in like all one location, mainly on my back, you know, not too bad. But I did want improvement and I couldn't commit to the UV treatments a few times a week. It just would not work with my schedule. So I was on Humira for about 8 months, but after time, I will be honest, it was very difficult to get the ball rolling with my insurance, get all the pre-authorization done through the doctor, going back and forth. They do ship you these in a refrigerated styrofoam case right to your door. And you have to take this specific one, which is the 40 milligrams. Yes, so 40 milligrams. This you have to take twice a month, so bi-weekly. Now, the shipping was fine, all that was fine. But after about 8 months, my body kind of just didn't have as big of an effect as it normally would. So I had decided to switch medications. I became very stressed out in the last few months. You know how holidays are sometimes, just things going on with my family. And my body was reacting. I went from, you know, after taking Humira for about 8 months, I had probably maybe 10% of my body covered in psoriasis. Then I had almost probably like 35 to 40% towards the end of it. And I knew I needed to do something else. Now, the next medication that I wanted to talk to you about is called Taltz. Now, I have a little chart from my doctor. It does have dates on it. I'm going to show you guys also a picture of what the injection looks like. And to get started, you do have to take 2 shots at one time to get, you know, it amped up to get started. Then a few bi-weekly, then it will be once a month. Now, I've only done 2 shots, so it is still new, but this is what this is from the actual Taltz website. So this is what it looks like. It is a little bit of a different injection. And I can tell you that it burns. It hurts. It hurts more than the Humira. And I don't know, I feel like the needle might be longer. It definitely was an adjustment to do, especially since I had to do one in each leg in like the same few minutes. It was a little bit more difficult, if I'm being honest. But I'm very excited about this Taltz. I've heard very good things about it. So if you are interested in kind of seeing this journey and seeing how I like it, let me know. I can always post updates. But I really wanted to share this video because only a few close friends and family know about this disease that I've had forever. And it's been difficult to talk about, but the older I get, the more I realize I need to appreciate who I am and accept myself. And I want to be there for people who might have questions, who feel like they might be alone. And I can tell you it's been a difficult journey. It really has. It's been a lot of pain and heartache. And I remember going to the doctor when I was younger and I had so many different visits. And every time my skin would start clearing up and I would ask the doctor, you know, am I finally done? Is it over with? Like, will I not have it anymore? And my doctor would say, Brandy, it's a chronic disease. So you're always going to have it. And I think that is a difficult concept to grasp when you're so young, that I'm going to have this disease forever. But we can make the best of it and we can help each other out. And I think that's what's important. So let me know what you guys think below. but it feels kind of good to get it off my chest and to share it with you guys. But if you have any questions also, let me know. I'm an open book. I've tried almost about everything for psoriasis, and I've dealt with a lot of it. So please let me know what you think below. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.